backups prepared for this because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Ryan. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Running left, Taylor. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 11 at the 41. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now it's Ryan. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they let the throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go play action with Wilson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On third down, Wilson. Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A gain of 28 yards there and given the first down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Williams. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 more yards there and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Williams is into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They go play action with Ryan.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
On the counter, here's Williams. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him early but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On third down, here's Williams. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead.
McManus's point after is good, and it is 28-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in
touchdown, Indianapolis. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
77 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in his first half.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So Ryan heads to the sideline, and out now is Rodrigo Blankenship for the Indianapolis field goal try.
Blankenship's kick is good. And the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
We know Melvin Gordon is very effective getting to the perimeter, but being a former University of Wisconsin Badger means you know how to run the ball inside and with power as well. I also like the fact that he's a weapon in the passing game.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Williams loses the football, but fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They'll try the left side with Taylor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Ryan. He'll check this down to Hines.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. At 5 yards on the play there, and the drive will continue.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
He'll get this down to the 38.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Hines.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Ryan. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson.
Quick slant to Hamler. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, all things considered, They have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
To throw is Wilson. Got a man. It's Judy, complete. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That good for 19 and a first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole. And then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off. But you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Russell Wilson, his second touchdown of the night. And the Broncos are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point from McManus is good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying it?
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's Wilson. Delivering again to Gordon, and he's got him again. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Hey, 0-0-0.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line. Play action. It's Wilson. Out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Third and long. It's Wilson.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one.
On the return, it's Rodgers.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
A very good punt, but a 16-yard return.
And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Ryan. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Colts are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 42. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Jordan Evans on the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line.
The busy night continues for Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Now Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Here's Wilson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
pistol. Here's Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Rodgers on the return.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
78 yards on the ground for him so far.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends.
Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Williams. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
That is caught at the 7.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little monster on top.
Well, partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
But, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Denver, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 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 I hope y'all can nest double E, 'cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my